I just went to my first film festival this weekend as a filmmaker. My senior thesis, when I leave, was invited to be a part of the Maryland International Film Festival. And this video is going to outline a few tips and tricks and things to know before you go to your first film festival as a filmmaker. Something that is a really good idea that I totally didn't even think about is to hand out a postcard of your film. It'll say what time the screening's at, it'll give their contact information, it'll have a website, it might have a QR code to a trailer, but it has a lot of that information on it, and it's just an easier way to say, here's my film, I directed it, oh, I see you're leaving, bye, rather than just relying on the business card. Speaking of which, business cards. They are super important, especially if you're going to follow up with someone or if they're gonna follow up with you. It'll be like a trading card. You'll get a business card and you'll give them your business card purely in exchange of information about yourself rather than your film. Something that's actually really fascinating, especially for those of you who are like myself, who are both behind the camera and in front of the camera, you want to make sure that you have a business card that is one for your acting side of things and then one for your directing or producing or DPing or whatever side of things. It's a really good piece of advice that I got yesterday from a filmmaker, because he told me, he said, Alexis, if you and I are talking about your career as a director and that's how I'm going to remember you, you should give me your directing card versus your acting card. It kind of sucks because I feel like we still have this taboo and it's harder for us to kind of break the mold and say, I am both, I can be both, until I guess you really start getting acclaim and notoriety in a good way of being both an actor and a director. Then you really just need to have two separate business cards. So it's funny because film festivals are supposed to be for screenings of films, and that's true, but the most important part of a film festival are the parties. You have to go to the parties. Actually, I was hanging out with some of the filmmakers from LA, and I forgot that my 3 a.m. is their 12 a.m., and even though I'm 22, it's really hard to keep up with them. But it was so fun. It was so fun, and it was just an incredible experience, especially as a young filmmaker and both a young actress and a director and a writer, be able to just talk. You know, I mean, it's not necessarily schmoozing, but you're literally talking about being a filmmaker and exchanging experiences and learning from each other. No one else in the world gets us. You know, film festivals are for people who will get you as a filmmaker, and it's just amazing. Especially if you feel like you've never had like that feeling of just belonging, and it was incredible. Following up is so important, and if you didn't know that already, now you do. I spent a good chunk of the afternoon today just following up with people, sending emails, text messages, posting on Instagram, things like that. And following up with somebody who said they were interested in seeing your film and you got their business card is super important, because you never know, maybe you do, if that person is part of the actual film festival circuit. So maybe they're a film festival director, or maybe they're just genuinely interested in seeing your story, and take advantage of that. Dressing accordingly is key. I'm actually really happy that the outfit I went with on the start of the film festival, I had actually wanted to go with a completely different dress, but it was way too much, and I'm really happy I did my research and saw that people don't go nearly as glamorous as some other film festivals. So always dress accordingly, do your research if you can. If not, use your best judgment. Don't look like a slob. Always mention your film name. I totally spaced on night one, and I was talking to somebody who was really interested in seeing my film on day 2, and they literally were like, I had to look you up on IMDb to see what your film title was called so I could figure out what block I needed to go to. And I was like, ah! That's it. Get your film postcards, get your business cards, get, you know, everyone to come. Be genuine, be you, and have fun.